friends, we're getting started a little early, as in we almost got started on time for once. We have some bookkeeping to do, so allow me to do that for this, another story, part 2. So we have to resolve the skid of the vehicle into the building. And I think we ended on that before. Shoot. Is that the last thing that happened? Like I had the corporal not move his tank while they just corralled you? Okay, so.
Yeah, I believe so. Because I know we did like 1 or 2 things after, because you didn't want to do the math of the skid with like in the last few minutes. But if I remember correctly, we just finished all the movements. So then we could take care of the skids and then do shooting.
Okay.
That tracks.
So. The building is a CF of 60, so the vehicle is going to take 6 damage because it's the CF divided by 10 on the side that hit, so it's 6 damage to the left armor. Don't worry, it's actually going to keep getting worse from there. Oh, and I need to lock this so that I can...
Does it make a motive systems check as well?
Not yet. First, he needs to make a piloting test at +3 and then +2 for the CF of the building. So that's a +5, which means he needs to hit a 9.
Wow.
Which he does not. So he takes an additional 6 to the left side and make a motive system damage.
That's so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's actually internal now.
Wow.
I'm going to check to see if it criticals. It does.
Oh no.
That's a 9, which means its sensors gets hit, which means it has a -2. Oh, sorry, it has a +1 to hit now.
Okay.
Could have been a lot worse for him.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So, motive damage. I'm gonna roll. It's an 8. That's pretty bad. Where's my motive? Oh, it's actually on the card. Never mind. We have different cards where it's like it's a motive system is its own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's moderately damaged. Actually, it's heavy damaged. Half cruising MP, +3 to driving skill rolls. So. Yeah.
Pretty brutal.
Actually, way worse.
Yeah, that's a huge oof.
All right, so note to self: don't skid into buildings.
It's now physically located within the building and can exit from any of the adjacent hexes at the beginning of the next turn, facing any direction.
Does that mean I can't see it now?
Correct. It also can't see you.
Got it.
Seriously, is anyone else getting Tabletop Simulator like keeps kicking me back to the default camera?
Nope.
No, not an issue I'm having.
Hopefully I fixed it. Anyway. So interesting. Okay. I think with that, we don't actually have any shooting resolution.
Yeah, I think that just ends the round, right?
So let's roll initiative.
You got this, boss.
7.
Alrighty. 7's actually a pretty good roll. But it's not enough to beat the 12.
That's true. That's true.
You hear Champ scream over the comms.
His tank just comes out in this direction, and that's all it does.
We needed that initiative roll, man. After the last couple of rolls.
No, that was important. Alrighty, what are you thinking there?
Well, I've been hit, so I'm thinking you go first to see what they do, and then I try to react. I'm thinking we try to you've currently got a shot?
No, it's out of range. Remember, we only have 3 hexes of range.
Oh my god. That's right. I don't know if we're gonna have the. Yeah, go ahead.
I could get here, but then he could move. This scorpion could just move away from me.
Yeah, I would lean towards going after tank 2, making sure that goes down, and then going after tank 3, just because we don't have the power to like solo each of these tanks really that well. And we can, but
no. So I could go like 1. Oh, what's this thing's flanking speed again? 6. I just don't want to be having my back to this scorpion because then I'll be dead in 1 turn. So if I
think I can prevent that.
If I went like 1, 2, turn for 3, 4. Problem is he could get an easy side shot on me.
That's true.
Well,
what if you were back? What if you were back one?
Is this an available space?
I don't know if you have line of sight there.
AP, is that an available? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, it is an available space, but he's got defender's advantage, which means he can choose to defend through. You know, like
if I go here,
there would be a little bit better.
I'm not in as good of range is the only issue.
Oh, that's fair.
And I would have to turn on the road.
But that would prevent, or that would minimize the side shot. That's
well, this would be front arc. You would have to get here to get the side.
That's fair. Which I could go there.
I think that might be the best bet because if he tries to get this front arc, then you can try to get him. I think that's about as good as I'm possibly gonna get.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll see where he moves and
the corporal doesn't move.
So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4
you're up,
hexes.
champ.
Yep, I'm up.
4 hexes.
So right now I'm facing this direction. So I'm kind of thinking I need to move that direction. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could get to here.
You would have a shot.
I'd have a shot, but I'd also be exposing myself to both.
Could you get here? Because you can see him over the level 1 building, right, AP?
Yeah.
They're adjacent. I don't know.
Can you see him from here?
He can't see me when I'm there.
But okay. So you wouldn't want to go there.
That's I think what I did last time.
Could you get here? Probably not.
You'd have the same problem of
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could get there.
But it wouldn't matter.
I mean, the tank just isn't as tall as an apartment building. Surprising, I know.
I mean, this might just be the only place you can go where you have a shot on him. So it may just be a choice of, do you want to have a shot or do you want to not be shot?
Well, really, I think part of it too is that I want to make sure that they have to make a choice between the two of us.
If that's true, you're going to need to charge directly in towards tank 2.
Yeah, but I'm facing the wrong way to do that.
Then that's rough.
I mean, here the Scorpion 3 would have a shot on you, but 2 would not, I don't think, because of the range. I could be wrong. Oh no, they have AC5s, which have long ass range.
Yeah.
That's the sting of the Scorpion, man.
All right, we just gotta make a decision. We have no good options, so we gotta just make a call.
Yep. 1, 2.
So you want 1, turn 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I was like trying to get myself back in position. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that just exposes me to them.
I mean, you're no, because you can't shoot over this building.
Yeah, neither of you would have shots.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking there was that I wanted to get behind, like closer in a better movement position, but I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, you just gotta make a call here.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and then I think. Okay, 1, 2, 3,
turn for
4,
3, 5.
5. Turn for 6.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's it.
Okay. Scorpion 2 is going to fire everything at Gamemaster 1, aka the boss.
Seems about right.
Oh boy.
Good thing it has severe damage.
It's an 8 and a 5. Yep. Okay, so 5 damage left arm.
That may blow off the left arm.
No, it's just internal. Just internal MVP.
Internal.
3 damage right torso as the machine gun blasts in there.
3 damage right torso.
Yeah, you're getting all sorts of warnings from the McDougal group about damage to the machine will come out of your salary.
Warning. I'm like showing like percentages of your salary that you're losing, and it's just like immediately like negative owed.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not a combat machine, right? This thing is meant for herding cattle, and in this case, it's a cheap version of a security mech used for, like scaring people off from driving their car into the spaceport and just being like, "Look at me! I'm just gonna drive my car through the spaceport, cause total chaos." Yeah, like you're losing more armor today than you've ever lost from scuffing it on the sides of buildings and such during practice and training and operations. It is loud when that machine gun begins snapping off pieces of your torso.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
Yep. Okay, you guys are shooting now.
Do you have a shot, Eddie? I don't think you do.
He does.
I do have a shot.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Not on the one that you're near, but you do have one on this one.
I mean, we don't have range.
Oh, then no, you don't have a shot. This guy's on the other side of an apartment building from you. He's only one tall.
That was why you couldn't see him
The building
here.
is literally hiding him from you.
Yeah.
So
right,
it's just you.
I will go. So I am in, I believe, short range for everything.
Sure. Let's do it.
I am a... Oh, what kind of pilot am I? I had it on a card, and I don't know where it went.
I don't know what card is, man.
It isn't here anymore. He was whatever Badger was. That's a 4-5, right?
It's a 4-6.
4-6. He's what Badger was to start. Yeah. Okay. So we got to hit starting at a 4. Ran is +2. And then I think that's just it. So I think just 6.
Okay.
Alrighty. We will go 2 small lasers, then 3 machine guns. Small laser 1.
Come on, buddy.
That will hit location. I don't know how to do locations.
I'll do location for the tank. Location 4 on the front is the front. And this is a 3 damage hit.
Yep.
And it would damage motive systems, but that's not, you didn't do enough. I'm gonna use the cluster roll to indicate motive system damage. Yes.
Okay.
Because we're not otherwise using it. Please continue.
Second small laser. That will hit location 11.
That's a turret. Okay.
Let's gun.
All right. Machine gun 1.
The turret is Pretty heavy
That
armor.
hits, and it hits the turret again.
Okay.
Machine gun 2. That hits for location 6.
Front side.
Okay, and then last machine gun. That hits for location 4.
Front side. Okay, so you've barely knocked off half of its frontal armor at this point. Its turret is relatively undamaged. You're like, huge strike! Everything you've got, and this tank, which has a cost comparable to your machine, eats all of your attacks and just doesn't react at all. Like,
I needed a 9 there.
the corporal will fire his autocannon. You're in short range for him, so that's really bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely hits. It's a center torso through armor critical.
Oh my god.
So you take 5 damage to the center torso.
Yep, that's pretty bad. Wait, how does that? We talked
It's
about
the frontal armor.
It goes okay, but it just.
But if there
me.
was a critical, it would be internal.
It would be internal, right?
And there isn't one, which is good for you because if that machine gun ammo went off, you would be dead.
Correct. Okay, well, that didn't go as well as it could have.
That's
We are very outmatched.
certainly true. Yeah. So on the other side of things, Hunchback 1, 6, and Jenner. So what happens is the Jenner begins jumping like to cut off the convoy, and in midair the Phoenix Hawk rises up and basically like grabs it and holds the arm, so you can see it's actually got it physically holds a gun and just like holds the gun to the Jenner and pulls the trigger as Xenia like choke slams the Jenner down to the ground.
Nice.
And the Jenner is just like immolating in the path of the convoy who begin catching up.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Well, at least you know they will live even when we die here.
Xenia's power moves are what we live for.
Let's roll.
Alrighty, initiative.
You got this.
Oh,
buddy.
you have heat buildup too.
I didn't think we had that.
You do for your lasers.
So, how much heat do I dissipate?
Doesn't say on the sheet if I recall.
Yeah. I always forget this part.
But the only heat I could build would be a total of 4.
Yeah.
So I don't think
It's just it's 2 points for the
didn't we say
lasers
you
and 2 points for
dissipate
the run.
10 as like a standard mech without any heat
Sure.
sinks?
You know what? Let's count it as that. I think it's just flamethrowers you'd really need to worry about.
If I remember correctly, you said last time that we dissipate heat like a standard mech without any heat sinks.
I think that's right.
Okay.
I think that's right.
I remember you saying that too, and that makes sense, right? Like, you know, there's definitely some heat dissipation.
When I ended up rolling a 4, what'd you guys get?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, so I have to move first. Okay, my tank right here does not move. The corporal, however, opens communications and says, "Look, son, you're in a bit of a bind. You're tangled in with real military machines. Now you can surrender and we'll take you under arrest, but you won't be killed. But if you continue to struggle and you continue to damage proper military security equipment, I'm afraid it's the firing squad for you."
What do we do, boss?
You can trust me if my name isn't Corporal Shamus O'Finnegan.
Oh boy, champ, I don't know.
They got
I think
some
we
real
should.
guns, boss.
I think we should surrender. Frankly, I think we should surrender. I would rather not die. You're some kind of mech hero, though. What are you? Can you save us or jump on them? Do something.
I mean, all right. And
I think Champ like just like gets this like, yeah.
And
And
you guys can kick them.
Yeah, that's legitimately what Champ was just about to do.
Well, I mean, this guy isn't moving. The one that's right next to Lachlan, or sorry, right next to Boss. So it's
I will. I don't think I can get away from.
Now, just be aware, this isn't the Battletech video game. You don't deal double melee damage to tanks or anything. But
I know, but I can.
The thing is, like, a kick is going to deal a lot of damage in one location, which is really bad.
I'm just trying to think if there's any way to not get shot by an AC5, because that would be really the optimal situation, but I don't think there is. So
Yeah.
There's a pretty good chance that 2 AC5s are coming for you no matter where you go.
yeah, so what I will do is I will stand on top of this mech so he can't shoot me at least. So I will turn for 1, move for 2, and then turn for 3. And then actually I will turn for 4, and since I'm still walking, I won't need to make any checks. How do we do this?
You can just leave it nearby. I'll
Leave
know
it like that.
what's going on. Now, I'm going to grab the SRM carrier. I think the reason the SRM carrier couldn't shoot... No, I'm just reviewing rules.
What?
Jesus.
What?
Oh, it may be able to like shoot up into me.
Yeah, I think the SRM carrier can't shoot up because it isn't turreted or something. Like, it's a framed machine.
Oh, that's fair. I was about to say, like, AP, if you're throwing an SRM carrier at us,
Well, in that case, I may have made the worst possible move.
That's why I'm going to look it up real quick before we... God, how long ago was this? Jesus.
Yeah, if I can't avoid getting shot by standing there, I probably don't want to do that, so...
One of these may reveal the reason why. Yeah, it doesn't have a turret. So this thing does have a turret, and I believe it'll just shoot directly above itself at you. You know, it can raise its gun.
So yeah, I really may not be able to avoid.
I mean, you being in its hex gives it yet another minimum range penalty.
All right, well, that still seems like the best bet then. All right,
Okay.
We'll do that.
All right, the corporal is not going to move.
Boss, you're so brave.
You better be fucking right about this, champ. I swear to God, if we die here, I will haunt... I don't know.
Does the Scorpion 3
I'll haunt
move?
somebody you love.
Does the Scorpion 3 move?
Nope, Scorpion 3 is not moving.
So 1, 2. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
It's going into
2
it.
checks.
Oh,
Yep.
do I?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you turned on the road twice.
Yeah.
While running. Yep. Go ahead. Take a chance. Roll your dice.
One of them should be at 2 and then one at 3, I think.
I'm good.
No
Good.
problem.
All right. The guy whose hex you're in, he can only fire his AC5, I believe. Oh, no. The other gun is also in the turret. Never mind. He's going to fire both of them. And I mean, the machine gun has no penalty at all.
This is not going to go great for
7
me.
and 3.
Let's hope it hits my legs.
Left arm for 5.
Left arm for 5. That will destroy the left arm.
All right. Your weapons, half of them go flying off, including your amazing mounted searchlight. The most powerful weapon in your arsenal.
My best weapon's gone.
I mean, just flashing that in their eyes, you know. that
Machine
works.
gun is left leg for 3 damage.
Left leg for 3 damage? That's
Yep.
pretty good for me.
You guys are up.
All right. Question. Can I kick and shoot in the same turn?
Yes.
All
But
kicks
you
happen after.
you kick last.
Okay.
So you shoot now, and then after we resolve all the shooting, then you'll kick.
All right. Scorpion tank.
Yep.
It's tank 3. You are getting shot.
Sure.
Let's see. I'm hitting. I moved. Wait, what's my move?
Ran, so that'll be +2.
The 2. Right. The 2 plus 3 is 5. That tank didn't move, so I'm hitting on 5s. I'm shooting my small lasers first. Oops. That definitely hits. It's 11. It's 8. 8 location, no critical.
Okay. The side critical. But there's no crit.
What's the number I need to hit for critical again? 6 above?
8.
8.
You also have to be internal.
Oh.
All right, you have destroyed the tracks on this vehicle, and it is no longer capable of moving.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Okay.
That also hits with a 6 on the location table of 7.
That is a side hit. 3. Okay.
That is an 11. Location table 6 with machine guns. We only have 2 small lasers and 3 machine guns, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. That is a 5. That hits. Location table 7.
Okay, that's side. It's now internal.
Nice.
Yes.
Might
actually get this guy down if you hit him in the right spot again.
Oh, that's location table 4.
Still the side, and that's some total elimination.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's also critical. The crew is stunned.
Perfect.
So as the tank is going down, they do not get out of it while it begins becoming a burning carcass.
I've got your back, boss. Ah, it's like the
As the roar of like the machine guns and the laser.
Yeah. And then this is I don't know if this is even in the comms or not, but Michelle will just go, "Holy shit, that actually worked." Oh, okay.
All right, Michelle, you take 5 damage to the left leg and a leg critical.
Oh boy, that is not what you want. 5 damage to the left leg will go internal, and then a
Your
leg
hip
critical. What does that even mean?
It's truly awful.
Oh, good.
My recollection is that hip hits make you incredibly slow and force you to make all kinds of checks anytime you want to do anything cool.
That is not super optimal.
Hip critical, page 137. There we go.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I just imagine Champ like running up behind or to the side of this thing, and then just like, oh, such a good scene. And then I think after like the things quiet down and hit in their machine, they look over at Boss, and you're like,
boss, no.
Okay, you need to make a piloting skill roll at a +2. Your walking MP is cut in half, and you take a +2 to all future rolls. You make a piloting skill anytime you run or jump.
Do I get to do that at the end of the turn?
Yes, you basically have to do it now.
But I thought I got to shoot and kick first.
Oh, of course. No, you get to shoot first. Then you have to make the roll, and if you fall down, you can't kick because you're on the ground.
Okay, I will shoot first then.
Okay.
So I walked, so this time I only have a +1, so I'm gonna be hitting on 5s.
dude. Oh, the fact that you're on them, like I'm just imagining you literally charging for them and just like as they're like shooting at you and you're shooting at them, like crossfire.
Well, that's 2, so that's not great.
Do you have rerolls?
I do have edge, I believe.
You guys have plot points too.
Yeah.
Did I already spend my 1 edge last session?
Well, I don't think so.
I actually think you did.
Yeah, I believe I
really?
did too.
Yeah.
So
It was a big thing. You
point.
asked if you had any.
Yeah, I do remember that as well, but I didn't spend a plot point. Does a 2 even matter in tank? Oh yeah,
Yes.
it is an auto critical.
Yep. It wouldn't.
But I'm gonna need the plot point to not fall down, so I'm gonna not do it.
Okay.
All right, small laser 2. That hits location 5.
Okay. You can't kick with a hit critical, by the way.
Oh really?
Yep, you can't do it anyway.
You screwed me, AP. I would have just taken the reroll.
I'm sorry. Right side. And it's motive system damage, but it doesn't do anything. Go ahead.
That's machine gun 1, location 8.
Front side. Okay.
All right, machine gun 2. That is location 5.
Hit the right side.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a plot point to reroll that.
Okay.
Actually, no, I gotta not. If I fall down, I'll like actually die. So I shouldn't be greedy.
Okay.
Should not be greedy. All right, last shot, machine gun 3 hits. That's front with a true critical,
But no crit.
but no crit.
And it still has 1 armor.
Alrighty. And then I can't. I will just use the plot point to succeed.
To
on
keep
not
from falling. Yeah. It's rough. I mean, you can't. Okay, so your movement speed is halved. So you're now a 2-3. And if
Well,
you.
it said I thought it said only walking was halved, but you just have to.
Well, that's
Make a
the
check
problem.
to
With your
run.
walking speed determines your running speed. Your run is
Oh.
1.5 times your run. Sorry, run is 1.5 times your walk. So if you run, you have to make a piloting skill roll at a +2 every time you do. So you are basically slowing this whole convoy down if they travel with you. You're barely faster than sprinting infantrymen. You're a liability, Michelle. Okay. This tank, the remaining one, will power down. He doesn't exactly indicate a surrender, like he's not surrendering himself into your custody, but he's also like not shooting you anymore. It's up to you to determine what you want to do with that.
Then in that case, Michelle will go onto the loudspeakers and say, "This is station security. I'm going to have to place you under arrest. They no unauthorized tanks in the space station area. So come on out."
Okay. Yeah. They begin exiting the vehicle by
Boss, are
like
you okay?
popping the top area. I mean, look, just real quick, like the guy, just to be clear, there is more going on here, right? Like the whole city is under attack.
Right.
And the other tank crew is stunned, but at some point they're going to get out with like handguns and rifles.
Right.
Which, with your armor, you can't resist.
So in my few seconds that I have,
Yeah?
what Michelle will say is, "Now, gentlemen, I know you're just working men like I am. So why don't you just go ahead and leave a little something for our trouble? and you can be on your way, and we'll be on our way.
Okay. Make a fast talk and persuasion, whatever that falls under in this system.
We've got negotiation.
Sure, I'll buy that.
I also have intimidation.
I will buy either of those.
All right, I will use intimidation because I got a +4 on that.
Yeah, I'm going to roll their counter rather than giving you a set number. You need to hit a 10, which is my usual set number.
So that's a 9 + 4 is a 13.
Okay. They don't give you anything, right? Like, they don't carry gems or large billfolds on them, but they get out of the tank and sit on the top of it. Not like with their hands up or anything. They're just like checking their guns and, you know, like they've got some SMGs. They're making sure there's a shell in the chamber. And they're just kind of sitting there waiting for you to either shoot them or leave.
He will send over whatever, like, wire transfer number, his Western Union, transfer number, and then get ready to leave.
Okay. They didn't bring their wire transfer numbers with them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my
I'm just
god.
saying. Michelle is just counting on the fact that at some point he's going to get this money.
Okay, so stumbling out of his tank, the corporal goes onto like a radio and says, "Are you trying to hold me and my men hostage?"
No. I want to be very, very clear. I just want to make sure that we are both able to go our separate ways after this unfortunate encounter. And
let's sit here and talk about it for a minute. Okay, what is it exactly that you want?
I want to be a Solaris gladiator.
Shut up. We want money.
Well, we're a mercenary unit, so we know the value of money.
Yes, so you know the value of money in exchange for me not arresting and or shooting you.
I agree that it would be bad for this situation to end in an arrest.
Michelle is just gonna start powering up the gun. It's gonna shoot this guy unless this guy stops stalling and starts doing something.
Okay. He says, hold on. Okay, look. The Comstar network's down right now. Can I get the money to you later when our phones can connect? Ships have been exploding in the upper atmosphere. A dropship just hit the spaceport. The local communication network's a little fuzzy, satellites being shot out of the air. Look, I promise that you will get exactly what you deserve.
Is e-signature a thing in this world?
No.
Because if that's the case, I just want him to have a contract with the mercenary company's name on it, so that way if he betrays me, I can just
not only is that not a thing,
mercenaries
but
to
he
the
would
mud.
definitely not sign that. Although he would want to go into the fine details of the He's like, you know what? Let's get it written down in a written contract. Why don't you step out of your cockpit and we'll sign something? I swear, me and my men won't shoot you.
We're gonna make a roll here to see how much of how cold-blooded versus bluffing and
Has
not actually
something
interested
been
in...
awoken within Michelle?
I'm just curious whether when somebody very obviously calls his bluff, he actually shoots them or not, and I have no idea.
Okay.
So let's find out.
What are
was
you
about to
rolling
say,
against?
I'm just gonna roll a d6, and if it's
Okay, Pondo.
5 or a 6, I'm shooting this guy.
I feel like there's like a side conversation happening where Michelle or Champ is just like saying,
They seem pretty honest, boss. I don't know. I feel like we can trust them.
Yeah. So I think that's since he got a 1, we see Michelle is at the cockpit, but his hands are shaking. It's very obvious that there's no way he's gonna shoot this guy, and so he just goes, you know what? I've heard good things about your mercenary company. You're honest fellas.
Someone cuts in the conversation at this point and says, "Hey, boys, if you're done extorting the soldiers, There's more on their way here. I know that your crappy ass sensor systems aren't picking it up, but they're stalling. I'm not saying you have to come with us, but if you want to live, come with me.
Champ, let's go. Wait, we should go. Time to go.
So like as you're walking forward, Knockout is just like, hey, one of you's falling behind. Why are you moving so slow?
We took some damage here. I can punch out and have Champ bring me over, but
We need the machine. I'll tell you what, the two of us are gonna slow walk back with you, backwards. What's your name, Champ?
Yeah, that's me, Morgan Man.
Yeah, it's just Morgan.
Okay, Morgan.
Look, I need you to guard the convoy, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you need to stay ahead of them and crank your sensor gain up to 11.
Always.
Alright, because that's my brother's property right there, and, you know, there's kids on board.
Oh, I'm protecting the kids? Oh, that's great.
You're protecting everybody.
It's,
Alright, we
it's
could talk
mostly-
about this, or you could do it, champ. So as she's saying
No,
this...
I thought I was doing it as as
so
you were talking.
her Hunchback and Xenia's Phoenix Hawk are both walking backwards at the same rate as Michelle is walking forwards, right? So they're like covering from behind, and it is not like you were attacked several times during this retreat, Michelle. Like an aerospace fighter comes in, and neither of them have the kind of weaponry to deal with that. There's a bombing run on the convoy that requires all of them to scatter, and then Champ has to bring them all back together. You know, like lost sheep.
Yeah.
They're like, one driver's like, fuck this, I'm out of here! And then like he gets stuck in a ditch, and you have to like physically lift the engine block out of the ditch and put him back on the road.
Yeah, this
Oh my
whole
God.
time, like, Michelle's, like, you know, swearing and screaming and saying things like, this job doesn't pay well enough, and, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of...
I feel like this is like the one of the opportunities where it's like Champ is fanboying a little bit. Like in any kind of lull, there's like a Champ asking questions about Solaris Gladiators to Morgan, and like what it's like, and like the life in Solaris, and
In the middle of a goddamn invasion.
yeah, exactly. Just like, I mean, Champ isn't very aware of these things. You know, the politics of it don't really bother him at all. So he's just like, you know, fixating on this gladiator that's somehow dropped in front of him.
So, Morgan will answer your questions whenever she is not fighting for her life.
Yeah, I mean,
In a sort of, okay, whatever it takes to keep you on, like, you're the ADHD kid and she's
Yeah.
the school teacher.
yeah, but he's helping her out in every battle,
Sure.
doing his best.
At the end of this, you all arrive at the Menshikov estate, which we've seen several times, but now we can see that staff are like, there's like water riot cannons that have been there because Xenia is incredibly private, and now those are being replaced with their like mounts are being replaced with actual machine guns. The staff are like welding metal sheets together to form a second wall behind the first wall that'll be reinforced to maybe catch a couple bullets. More machines are pouring through here. Several days later, your boy Sebastian BLT Sebastian Bassett arrives with a bunch of agromech pilots in tow, the ones that he couldn't bring with him, and 2 Battlemechs. He basically immediately Shadow takes charge of the facility. So while almost everybody here works for Lachlan McDougal, there are a lot of criminal types like yourselves, well, like Michelle, seated throughout the area, and when anybody needs something to get done, they go to Sebastian.
I think since at one point Bassett said he wanted to see Michelle, right?
That's true. He did.
I think then, like, multiple times before Bassett gets there, Michelle tries to, like, leave the it's like suddenly like leave the compound
Yeah,
and like
so
everyone's like making sure
the
like,
Menshikov guards are just like, no one can leave, sir.
Yeah.
We're here for your protection.
So yeah, there's like probably multiple interchanges where like Michelle tries to like,
Where you're
lie
like,
his
"No,
way
I
out.
just,
And
I
it's
just
like,
want to go on a recon patrol.
Exactly.
And they're like, you know what? Take Champ with you.
So yeah, he's trying to run away from this whole situation.
So, you wind up being summoned to the east wing of the Menshikov estate. You can see that there's a bunch of tech here, something that looks like part of an HPG.
What's that?
The hyperpulse generator. It's what Comstar uses to communicate with each other.
Right. Okay.
I have like
Tech
the
gremlin.
anti-tech empathy.
Something
so
sparks
I have no
nearby.
idea.
There's glowing blue radiation in the background, reminiscent of an earlier scene as you walk past. As you leave, it fades.
Oh boy.
So Sebastian looks haggard and hollow. He looks kind of like a man who's currently suffering from whatever you want to call it, shell shock, PTSD, battle fatigue. You know, he's been fighting continuously for like 2 or 3 days, and then when he got here, he basically had to take military command of the area. He previously he lost his entire left arm to a bombing, so like you can see that it hurts him to move his left shoulder. And when you enter, he stands up and holds out his right hand for you to shake and says, "Michelle, meet with you."
The pleasure's mine, my lord. Sir
Please
Baron.
don't think of me as a baron. Think of me as a boss.
Yes, sir.
It's true, I am the most powerful noble on the planet right now, but you don't need to keep that in mind. Michelle, have you ever thought about being a knight? I have had many of my retainers flee in cowardice, shame, and dishonor, and what I need is loyalty. Men who have walked the line every day here, men who, when called, obeyed, men who aren't trying to leave and flee at every opportunity. That's men like you. Men who stayed, men who fought, men and women.
Just to be clear, is Champ in this conversation?
Not yet, but Champ will be summoned later.
Okay.
Well, I what can I say, sir? The Dufour family has always been the most loyal of folks.
Okay, Neil. So as he says that, he pulls a katana out from a duffel bag nearby.
Oh, right now. Right now.
What better place than here? Shh. What better time than now?
Oh, okay, excellent. Is there he like gets down on the knees like,
Yeah,
do I
just,
say something or
and then bonks you on the head and says, "It's done. Look, the formalities aren't as important during war. I need to know a lot of things. I need to know about holes in spaceport security. At some point, when we push these people out, the spaceport is going to be the final battle. I need you to tell me all of its weakest points so that we can get in there."
Well, of course, sir. I've been working with you and yours to adjust the systems to make sure things go a little more smoother for your folks.
Yeah, he says, sit down. And it's not me and mine. You lead those people now.
Yes, well,
You're a made man.
yeah, it will take some getting used to, sir. I've worked with your folks before, and I know my way around the spaceport. I think I can help you out. There's a couple... I don't like to use the word smuggling, but, well...
These are exactly what I'm looking for. Ways in and out the spaceport.
I'm your man.
Good.
I am...
All right, you spend a few hours being debriefed. After that, like a 4-year-old comes tumbling in, and Sebastian stands up and does his best to give a warm smile and says, "Ah, Triton, this is my nephew." And then he like gestures behind that where a woman is carrying 2 babies, and he says, "My firstborn and my heir as well. Oh, these lovely children." And he like kisses each of them on the forehead. Do you have kids, Michelle?
Oh no, sir. Not exactly a family man.
Not
myself.
exactly a family man. That's unfortunate. We'll solve that problem for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, sir.
What's your type?
Whatever you think.
Now just know he's currently carrying 2 children, and there's a 4-year-old in the room.
He's just like, Michelle has no idea how to respond to this question with kids around. He's like,
I'm just kidding with you. Don't worry about it, Michelle. You'll find that out. I'm quite a japester, a jokester.
Yes, you got me this time, sir. I'll keep that in mind.
I have a lot of agromechs that we'll need to recover. We left them south in the Hiroka farms. I'd like to put you at the head of that column. All of my agromech pilots would answer to an experienced commander and supervisor like yourself.
Well, I tell you what, sir, they don't call me boss in the trenches for nothing. You put me in charge, I'll get the work done. I'll tell you that much for sure.
For now, I'd like to leave you in charge of walking the walls, making sure that no one tries to escape.
Excellent.
We don't need any traitors in our midst giving any information. You've seen the attacks here daily.
I'm right there with you, sir. I can't imagine what kind of coward would flee in this moment, even attempt to do so.
And Sir Dufour, one most critical task. I believe that there are Seppuku agent or agents in this camp. I need you to find them and bring them to me. Alive, if possible.
Well, I'll do my absolute best. I'm not much one for spy craft and whatnot, but those traitors, we'll get them. We'll get them, sir.
We're not... Don't use the word traitor just yet. My political allies have chosen to place their trust in her. So for now, I just need to speak with the Seppuku agents.
My apologies, sir. I just see what I hear on the news. You know,
I know. We all have been devastated by the news coming out of the incredibly trustworthy hacker group, Hound and Sheepdog. Sorry, Sheepdog. I know.
Clearly, a number of heroes and, Federated Sons
Patriots.
Heroes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good.
But by your leave, sir, I have to, now that I'm a sir and what, I got, business and things people I should call and.
Of course. Go about your business. And if you can, find Mr. Champ. I need to speak with him as well.
Oh, yeah, I will do that for you, sir, but I do want to just warn you, he's a good kid, but, he's tough to talk to. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Let's just say that.
So he like hands one of the children to the 4-year-old and hands the other child back to the caretaker and like dismisses them all and takes a deep breath and turns to stare pensively out at the sea and says, I'm used to dealing with people like that. It's quite all right. Michelle, I am sure I can find the perfect position in my organization for Mr. Champ.
Excellent. Like I said, good kid, easy to work with, and just wanted to, give you the heads up. All right, I'm out. He gives like a really like awkward, sloppy salute, and then gets out of there. And immediately starts working on whatever ways come up on the top of his head that he can abuse his new position to make money.
You come back to me on what those are. Champ, Knockout basically makes herself unavailable to you. Anytime that she can avoid you, she does so. But you do have a runner come to find you after a couple of days, saying that you're wanted in the office of the erstwhile military commander, Sebastian Bassett. Although, as everyone knows, Xenia's in charge here. Maybe. Could be. It's her house, at least.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, Champ, answers the summons. No questions, really. I was called?
What's your name?
Champ Finnegan.
Sit down, champ.
Takes a seat.
Do you know who I am?
Just to be clear, AP, this is
Sebastian
Bassett.
Bassett, yeah.
Okay.
Latour.
Would Champ know? I've seen you on the news.
Good. Just call me Sebastian for now. I've been reviewing gun camera footage of your flight from the city. You are extremely eager, undisciplined, highly skilled, however.
Well, I mean, I do my best.
Your lack of discipline is an issue in service to the unit here.
Well, I've lived in the streets and worked in security most of my life, so. But one day I hope to be a gladiator.
If that day was sooner than you think.
Huh. Really?
My Zeus pilot was injured several days ago by partisan gunfire. I'm looking for a replacement. It's a big machine, and it's a lot of responsibility. We don't have many Battlemechs left, champ. But this kind of commitment, and he turns to look at you with a raised eyebrow, it's a lifetime commitment. You'd be working for me directly, and if and when this war is over, I would be more than willing to send someone with your capabilities to Solaris to fight in my name.
Oh, wow. A sponsor? Oh, I mean, I'd be honored, of course. I mean, I've been dreaming of this most of my life, and in The Sims, and I mean, what is it that you want me to do?
Pilot the Zeus. For now, I can't insert you in my regular battle order. As I mentioned, you simply don't have the discipline, but I'm sure there are jobs a one-man wrecking crew like yourself are capable of undertaking.
Oh, well, if you toss me in there, I'm sure I can get it done.
I agree. I do think you can get it done. For now, continue your security patrols with Sir Michel Dufour. It'll be a little strange matching up your new assault machine with his smaller Battlemaster security mech, but in time, I'm hoping I'll have an independent mission I can send someone with your firepower and skill on.
Whoa. I've never piloted an assault mech before. I'm only in The Sims,
It'll take some getting used to, I assure you. Having recently switched to a wolfhound myself, the transition process is excruciating. But I trust that you'll be able to power through it. You seem like you have a lot of willpower.
Always.
Enthusiasm.
I always make it through. Yeah, the fleet from the spaceport was quite intense.
I'm so glad you mentioned the spaceport. You are currently employed technically by Lachlan McDougall, even though we're going to sign a contract later today. I'm looking for places in the spaceport that have been a problem for you. Drugs getting through, smuggling, people getting weapons into the spaceport. I need to know about the kind of incidents that have had a high success rate.
Well, there were these couple of fellas who, they always like trying to josh me and ask me to get out of my mech because like, oh yeah, I gotta make an even fight, and then I get out of the mech and they don't last very long. It's not very fun, when the battles or the fights are so uneven. Sorry. I think there's a couple of times that's happened for sure.
Why don't you make a note of those incidents for me? I'll need to be quite aware of the breaches in spaceport security.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to think about that.
Champ, you seem like you're good with kids. Are you good with kids?
Oh, I love kids.
My nephew Triton I need someone to look after my children. Triton is... I think you'd get along well with him. You have a very similar level of enthusiasm. But he tends to get in a lot of trouble, and I expect that you're the same kind of person.
Oh, definitely.
I trust that you have the level of responsibility to get the two of you out of any trouble you might experience in this estate. I am trusting you with the lives of my 3 boys.
Oh boy. I mean, I just met you, but thank you. That's a lot. That's a lot of trust. I appreciate that.
He slides over a contract statement towards you, and you can see that there's like several stipulations for salary. Like for now, until the end of the war, the number is quite large, and then after that, it's like as a Solaris gladiator, your salary will be lower, right? And you're like, oh no, that sucks. But then it says things like, you know, like 20% avenue, like revenue and advertising rights, and like in perpetuity, any of your matches that are played, you get, you know, a percentage cut of the money from that. And like when you do the math, it's going to add up to be a lot of money if you win and you fight for a long time.
Right. And is it like royalties where like if they replay the matches on like screens and stuff?
You get the rights on that. Yeah.
Wow.
So as your sponsor, he'll get a good portion of that.
Right.
But because, you know, he's fronting you a mech and the transit there and your training costs and your license costs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like in the long term, if you are a gladiator for like 5-10 years and you're even somewhat popular, you end up making quite a bit of money.
Wow. This is such a big deal. Well, thank you.
So it's like very Mephistopheles in the bargain. Like there's the red light of the sun as he stands over you, handing you a pen so you can sign this contract.
Here, sign your life away. Nothing wrong will happen. Yeah, I think there's definitely like a moment of where the camera zooms in on Champ's face and there's just like a smile, and then it slowly pans out and you see as like Champ's leaning forward to sign the contract, you see the smile of Sebastian Bassett in like the silhouette.
It's got to be a really good music playing here, something right out the Game of Thrones soundtrack.
Yeah, where it's like
a violin minor key version of Bassett's theme.
Yes, absolutely. Where it's like there's a little bit of an ominous tone to it.
Oh, I feel like any of Bassett's.
That's true.
Bassett's theme is just the equivalent of the Reigns of Castamere, like playing anytime the Lannisters are doing something sinister.
Yes, absolutely.
Holy I mean, sometimes it plays when they aren't even doing sinister things.
That's true.
Tyrion like whistled it for 2 seasons before we even knew what it was.
Yeah, that's the setup, man. That's the setup.
Wow.
That was a long-term reveal. Michelle, do you have anything you want to do from this point out and bring Champ in with?
That's a good question. So I guess part of it would be, in the past, how involved in helping Michelle has Champ been when it comes to like the illegal activities that he engages in? Like, is it strictly like the kind of thing where it's like when we go on patrol together, you know, he'd be like, hey, just stay outside for a minute and then like go take care of something? Or is it like, you know, he's involved, he just doesn't quite realize that it's illegal because he's just dumb and trusting? Or like, what do you think?
I mean, I think there's that gullibility factor. So I think there's definitely times where Champ has helped you, like because he thinks you're being honest about this stuff.
Yeah. So okay. So basically, I think maybe what happens is like after a few days, like once they're settled in, Michelle reaches out to Champ and will say, "Hey, Champ, old buddy, I need your help a little bit. We gotta do our normal. We gotta go get donations, like we normally do. You know, go get us some good donations and make sure that we can operate. You know, cover all the expenses and everything. Take care of it."
Sure, boss. You know, those people are so nice sometimes. You know, they just give us money to make sure that they stay safe. It's It's the people in Wheatington are so kind.
Oh yes, just friendly people, friendly people. Yeah. So then he, I think, just starts like, honestly, I don't know if this scene would be like a montage or what, but it's like starts like going to
Shakedown
like,
montage.
yeah, like whoever's like in the compound that has existing relationships with Michelle. Like Michelle has his people that he like knows, and it's like, you know, when he shows up, it's like, well, I tell you what, you know, still need protection in times of war, and yours truly, I'm now you're looking at Sir Michel Dufour, so you know, we will need that donation, and make sure it's got a little extra, because operating as a knight, it's more expensive. You know, lots of that kind of shit.
Incredible. Let's roll for that.
So I believe this would be Streetwise, because I think Streetwise is supposed to encompass like
Criminality and
criminal
Sure,
conversation, and then the other element that I was thinking is Streetwise is like, the Streetwise element is Michelle knowing which marks to pick, right? Like knowing not to go to the wrong people.
Sure. All right. You need to hit a 12.
All right. I have 5 Streetwise. So
Wow.
I need to. This is the thing I do best.
You definitely
fail.
went a totally different direction.
That's not gonna work. 6 + 5. That's 11.
Oh,
So
Use
what
the
does
plot point to bump it up by 1?
Didn't I spend my only plot point?
You have 3 plot points.
Oh, I thought you have as many plot points as you have edge.
No, that's well, that's true in combat. You're right. So you would have spent your only remaining plot point at this point. So in combat, you have 3 plot points. Outside of combat, you have plot point equals edge.
Okay.
oh.
I think
So
something
I
along those
don't think
lines.
I have. Well, unless my edge.
Well,
is-
if you
is
had three,
back.
if you have 3 plot points in combat, then wouldn't you still have 1 from out of combat?
I spent 1 edge and one plot point in that combat AP. So you tell me if I have any
All right,
resources.
let me double check, because it's been a really long time since we've done plot points, like for
Outside of
real, like
combat.
8 months.
Yeah.
So I've definitely been wrong about this before. And will a character begins the game with a number of plot points equal to their edge attribute. That is for in combat.
Okay.
Plot points outside of combat. Go down to the
This is a good reminder, since it's been so long.
playing games. Plot points. Yep. Okay, so you get 3 plot points. So you would have only had 1 in combat, and then when we left the combat, you would get 2 more. So you can bump this up to exactly what you need. It's gonna be tense. A lot of people turn you down, but enough people turn you yes to, you know, get you some influence here. You know, scraps of cash, C-bills, you know, like extra food, water, alcohol. If you smoke or drink, you know, then maybe they get you whatever you need.
I think Michelle is probably not a big smoker or drinker himself, but he does a lot of like, you know, the swap meet thing, right? Where he's like, you know, starting
you're
with the
trashy
paperclip and,
quartermaster sergeant
yes,
that runs this camp now behind the scenes. You're the
Yes.
guy that has to be defeated in order for the main heroic push to move forward.
yes, absolutely.
Either that, or alternatively, you're the guy the heroes are defeated by. When they're like, you know, like this freedom and integrity, and you're like, no, kid, none of that exists. This is the real war.
Michelle is the guy who pulled the commissary job at the prison and like uses it in order to make sure that he is in good graces with everybody, you know?
The warden expects me to keep everything in line, and as such, I get a couple special privileges, which I can pass on to those who do their. I just rewatched Dark Matter season 2, so that was the guy that was on the cast for like 5 minutes before being booted off.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So rather than hunt for the spy, you instead promote yourself to local terror of the war camp.
I'll eventually get to the spy part.
Sure. Champ, are you involved in this at all? I'm sure you hear about how Michelle is slowly taking over as like a quartermaster of the local area.
Yeah.
Like people are just like, whoa, hey, look, here's what I got. Make sure that Michelle gets it, okay? This is all I was able to find while I was on patrol today.
But I'm imagining this is not terribly different than the kind of shit that would happen when we were working our other jobs. So
yeah. This is exactly. And I think Champ would be like, oh, I'm so glad you're helping out. Oh, thanks so much. I'm sure Michelle will really appreciate it.
Yeah, Champ. Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, if you need anything, just let me know. I'm here for you. Okay.
He like looks around. Hundreds of people are being put into the grounds of a noble estate that is increasingly being changed from a beautiful cultivated seaside estate into an armed camp covered with machine gun and laser turrets everywhere.
Right.
He's just like, no, Champ, I'm good. Just, if you can get Michelle to lower my duty roster, I could use a few days off.
I'll do my best. Hey, I'll swap with you a couple times, okay? I got you.
Speaking of, I'd like both of you to make a willpower roll to see if constant fighting every day, lack of military training, discipline, and hardening is starting to wear on you as much as it wears on Sebastian Bassett.
Most likely the answer is going to be yes with my 1 willpower. So
yeah, same here.
I'm sure there's a skill we can use for this, but it's probably going to be bad for both of you.
I have an 8 plus 1, which is 9. But I mean, whatever skill this would be is not one that I have.
Okay, then you definitely fail. How about you, Champ?
I mean, I
would accept survival here.
Yeah, I don't have that.
For sure, this is a form of survival. It's
I
like
don't
combat against mental illness.
I literally only have 2 other.
Yes, I know that you suck at all of your skills. Just make the roll so we know that Champ slowly falls.
3.
Oh my god. So look, Michelle, it's not that bad for you, right? It's like, sure, you do have to kill infantry on occasion, or you're used to like corral tanks, right? Like the other Battlemech pilots use you as like a flanking force in order to threaten incoming attackers. So like they detect you coming and the tanks are just like, oh, okay, we're about to get surrounded. It's time for us to get out. You don't see a lot of frontline combat insofar as gigantic guns are firing at you, but you are out there fighting and probably killing every day. Champ, it's real bad for you. You're like, I wanted to be a Solaris gladiator, and every day you take out a Zeus and you're just like devastating people. Like you're out there stepping on tanks, people are screaming on fire when you shoot at them.
Yeah,
they're like, occasionally the mission parameters call for you to like hide inside a building and then like pop out of the building in order to attack people from ambush, and in the process you're destroying like hundreds of thousands of property and ruining somebody's like livelihood.
Yeah.
Like whole factories are being destroyed at your hands because that's the kind of war that Sebastian and Xenia are fighting, a slow defensive retreat.
Guerrilla, fighting. I think
it's devastating to you. You're basically like not sleeping, not eating.
It's kind of like the when you have a dynamic shift of reality, and the naivety of how you've lived before is slapped in your face, and you're like, oh wow, there's just, I think like the morality of it, or like just like the mental strain of what's been going on is what's getting to Champ. But I think Champ tries to hide it really by always having like a smile, or always trying to elevate their voice to like be cheery.
The Robin Williams, I understand.
Yes.
This got really dark, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a part of the storyline that I've been wanting to tell for a while, is like Bassett slowly being like, well, we've killed a ton of people. Like, my arm has been blown off. We're fighting every day. So I'm glad another story has given me a chance to do that. But yeah, it also wears on your characters somewhat. Like, Michelle, not so much. Champ, it's devastating. Like, the world for you is now black and white.
Yeah. And I think, like, the only solace that he has is whenever he's playing with the kids who are, like, hopefully,
Wholesome?
Yeah, well, yeah, they're wholesome, and also just, like, they're not aware of like, the day-to-day grind that's been going.
I think that you'll find that 4-year-olds have a little bit more going on, and they're on the ball with this kind of stuff.
I guess it's like their attitude towards it is
sure.
Like,
I mean, they're still trying. Triton is still trying to play with people, right?
Right, exactly.
Even though he understands that he can't go outside anymore, he doesn't understand why, but he does understand that guns are bad. So.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what Champ is doing. Like, every time he visits with Triton and the kids, like, no guns.
Good.
Nothing.
Good.
Yeah. It's good to see. It's good to see Bassett slowly going insane.
Yes, that's also true.
How did the two of you
level.
celebrate the new year?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
You've been fighting continuously since Christmas.
And then we had a ceasefire in the new year, right?
The ceasefire happens in the new year. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Champ would have Boss, like, just invite Boss to have a drink by the seaside. I think with all the fighting, Champ has picked up drinking a little bit. Like,
always known to be a great coping mechanism. Yeah, very healthy. Very healthy.
Totally. I mean, they do other things to cope, but I think Champ.
No, it makes sense though. It makes sense though.
Yeah.
I think maybe they plan it so this is like after they have the drink together. But I think Michelle would try to throw like a party. Like, as much of one as they can pull off in the compound, because everybody's in this ceasefire, right? And part of his whole game is like the give and take, right? Is like people have to feel like, it can't, obviously he's extorting these people, he's treating them terribly, but he has to occasionally give them something to hold on to, that ways that he is genuinely helping them out. So yeah, I think he throws this party for everybody and is like trying to get everybody to come blow off some steam.
I think it's actually mid-party that Champ takes you to the seaside to have a drink.
Well, wait. Let's make a roll. I'll accept protocol at a 10 or streetwise at a 12. To see how banging this New Year's Eve party is.
How about animal handling? Because this party's gonna be wild.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll take streetwise, I think. That is an 8 plus 5 is a 13.
Okay. Now look, it's not like...
It's not the Kernsky ball.
Well, no, it's not like everybody's happy and having a fun time all the time. But it definitely takes away from the devastation that has happened, right? Like, it gives a sense of normalcy. Like, people are drinking Kool-Aid, some people are drinking eggnog, someone has pieced together like half of a cake.
I feel like the Menshikov estate, like, someone was able to scrounge up some musical instruments and like doing some banjo, like, folk music.
No. I'm thinking the scene from Band of Brothers where they're picking through Berlin and the German band is playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, like, it's musicians on the Titanic going down. It's like people who were able to get out with whatever they have, like 5 of them coming together, like the only people in the whole camp that have anything, like, come together to play really sad versions of Christmas music. They're playing all the renditions of the favorites, but then they always come back to the sad stuff.
I'm kind of imagining that scene from Wonder Woman where, like, they saved that little
which Wonder
village.
Woman?
The first one.
Okay, the good one.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
Skip it. Don't.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is truly awful.
Well, I'm just imagining like people having a beer for like the first time and probably forever, or like people dancing and having just a moment of peace.
There's lights. The kids are running around. People are in something close to as good of cheer as they can, even with the looming threat of weapons. You know, like even now, the walls are still manned by aggro mechs and security mechs walking up and down them just to make sure nothing comes through here. There's a couple combat helicopters from the Latours that are in the area, and other, you know, tanks. But they're trying to like stay out of sight and not disturb the festivities as much as possible. And then Champ pulls you aside for a drink while looking over the sea.
Well, boss, I mean, it seems that we've got ourselves into something.
I wouldn't say gotten ourselves. Kronos Combine landed on the planet after all.
Yeah, I guess we were pretty lucky to get out.
Oh yeah, I mean, did you see old Jameson? He got impaled by a 2x4. It was horrible.
Jameson.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrifying. He was trying to get up into his mech, and you know, bomb fell, and yeah. Oh, it was really awful.
Champ takes a sip. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who. Do you know? Have you heard from anyone else? Maybe that got out.
Oh, here and there, folks are trickling in. You know,
that's good.
Those that aren't on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, I was worried about Cal though. He always gets into so much trouble.
Yeah, well, look, if they're not here, they're probably just with the military encampment on the other side of the planet. I heard some chatter about that. So
yeah. What? I mean, I can't believe like we're so close to my dream, but you know, now we're into this, and you're a knight now. So do I call you sir? Do I call you boss?
Boss is fine. Don't worry. But yeah, well, you know, people like us, takes a war, takes the whole world coming apart for us to, you know, improve things, make things better. But just got to live it out. Just got to make it through all this. It's going to settle down eventually, champ. You have to know that.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Champ takes another drink.
Win or lose, things don't tend to change too much for people on the bottom of the totem pole. Now that I have this title, things might be a little bit different, but, you know, it's still the middle of the war. Nothing's finalized. Nothing's really matters yet. So worst comes to worst, Draconis Combine comes into town, and, you know, we lay low, keep our noses clean for a while, and integrate back into the planet.
Yeah, we can hope so. Although I think where we're at, well, boss, have you seen the machine that I'm piloting now? That thing is military grade.
Yeah, it's an expensive piece of machinery. Just you be careful there, champ.
I know. I mean, you know me, boss. You know, I always know how to get into a scrape and get out of it. But
sure. But you know, the Hound Lord isn't as nice as you might seem always. You know, just you be careful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a little. Well, I got to do something about the McDougal contract. I feel bad, you know, skipping out on it, signing this new one. But
what are you crazy? You think McDougal gives a shit about you? Of course he doesn't.
Really? You think so, boss? Oh,
It's a God-given opportunity. You take it. You take the opportunity.
All right. I just feel bad. I don't know.
Think about it this way, champ. How many times in your life have the nobles fucked you over? And how many more times will they in the future? Probably hundreds, maybe even thousands. This may be your only opportunity to fuck one of them back. Don't lose it.
I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to leave the thinking to me. And he just like, I think he just like knocks on Champ's head.
Yeah, and I think like he's like, "You're right, boss. You're right," and like holds up the glass to clink and and takes a sip. Well, it does seem like we're doing all right. You did good by the people, putting this party together. I think it's gonna really cheer people up. I've been rough, boss. I don't know. I've not been this active for so long. It's so much death. Security job. You rough people up a little bit, and they oftentimes they walk away with a limp, maybe, or busted lip or something. But yeah, so much destruction.
Look, I'm no soldier. You just gotta accept the fact that it's gonna be a bad time for a while, and just I don't know, just try to push on through. I'm no good at that kind of shit, champ. I just try to keep on keeping on. Do things like throwing a party, and won't make things better, but hey, any light's good light in the war, right? But like I said, it'll only last so long.
You're right, boss. You're always right. And I think Champ like raises the glass out into the ocean, and like there's like a glimmer on the moonlight that shines to the glass onto like Champ's eye, as you see like a little bit of a, I don't want to say like a tear, but like there's definitely some wateriness as like Champ is just like feeling a little bit emotional about the things that they're dealing with, and takes another drink.
Yeah, I think Michelle gives like a kind of like clap on the back, and he like stays there a moment and then just goes, "All right, buddy, you enjoy the party now, okay? Don't get too melancholy on me. We got enough of that around here." And he just like starts turning around and does like a, "Hey, get this," one of those.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's very clear, like it's terrible advice, but like you're just not going to get much more out of Michelle than like tough it out, because he's not a very emotionally sophisticated gentleman.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing that was that one of the few times that you've seen a deep emotion from Champ.
Yeah, and definitely when he sees emotions coming out, that's when he's like, "Okay,
time to go."
Yeah, this was great. I'm so glad we did this. Yeah. Oh
my gosh.
God, I love the idea of Michelle Dufour continuing to appear as like a robber knight.
Robin Hood, yeah.
No, robber knight.
Knight.
It's a German knight archetype of these knights who would be like, "That's mine," and somebody like, "No, it's mine." They'd be like, "Well, I'm a knight. It's trial by combat time, bitch. All right, you're dead. It's mine."
Yeah, no, that's very Michelle. Yeah.
I want to see him continue, like Sir Dufour continuing to like be like, "That's my property line, okay?"
Oh no.
I was personally assigned this land, and it goes this far out.
20 years later, like Dufour owns like 3 or 4 times as much land because they just continually bullied their neighbors into taking their land. I love it.
What's the best part about this for me is that rather than having to do a whole episode showing how Sebastian is controlling the war camp, you literally have done it all for me in his name. Yeah. So now I don't have to be like, yes, Sebastian is controlling the war camp, because we heard about that in the main storyline. Now you fulfilled it for me.
And it's inevitable he would, right? Like, unless Xenia
Sure.
was like actively trying to stop him from doing that, which she wouldn't, because why would she? You know, he's filling the empty void, right? Like, unless Lachlan is there to oppose him.
This feels like a good stopping point, unless you wanted to look for the agents.
Well, yeah, I can make a roll for that if you want, and then we can wrap it up based on how that goes, because I didn't have much else either. I don't have anything for this. So
Tracking of some kind, so I feel like it's a tracking roll with your intelligence.
Okay, so I have int 1.
Okay, then that's really bad. I'm gonna roll for how difficult it is to find these people.
Oof.
I got a 6 total.
You needed to get a 18.
So Lachlan Michelle is convinced that he did a great job with this. You know, he cleared everyone, went top to bottom down the organization chart. You know, there can't be any spies or secret Seppuku agents. It's impossible. It's impossible. I did a perfect job.
Yeah,
they're gone.
already left.
They all fled once they heard that Michel Dufour was on the case.
Yeah, there is definitely a conversation with Sebastian's door is closed and he's just screaming at you. He's like, they just gave Xenia a communicator yesterday. You've obviously failed me, Sir Dufour. I need you to redouble your efforts. Listen, if you have to break a few fingers, I don't care what it takes. Find me those spies.
Sir, yes, sir. I'll break everyone's fingers if I have to.
This is why Cypher is the best.
So while you guys are walking around,
I love the idea. Hold on, I'm sorry. I love the idea that just like Cypher is just like pretending to be a servant or like a maid or something nearby, and it's just like dusting
like
something
in the room.
so you guys are starting to see that the final scene is people in the camp are starting to wear like sheepdog t-shirts, right? Or like hats, beanies, scarves, merch. It's been passed around. No one really knows where it's coming from, but you know, people need the clothes, and a lot of people, it's the only news that they're getting, right? Over shortwave radio now that the satellite networks are taking out.
Fucking hell.
They're hearing a lot of things. They hear a pronouncement that Kuro Seppuku was responsible for the lake bombing, and you hear a recorded confession from Vega confessing to having planted the bomb and having killed all those people, and everyone's like shocked and scandalized. And the very last scene is Sebastian like smiling in his office, like finally it's all coming together, as he heads out to like a veranda and is like, I know you've all heard the news. Yes, Kuro Seppuku is a traitor, and he is the one who took my arm. And yes, he took from us our countess and many of the barons and our leadership. But that doesn't mean we have to hold Anko Khan responsible. Who we need to hold responsible are Kuro Seppuku's backers, the Draconis Combine. We will hold this facility. We will hold our families at all costs. Help is coming. Army Group North is headed this way. Soon, the push to force the Draconis Combine invaders out will start. Look to the skies. Our angels are coming. Hold that hatred you feel for Kuro Seppuku deep, deep in your heart, for there will be a reckoning for traitors like him and any who have thrown down their weapons in the face of these invaders, or even those who have joined them. And I will be there by your side as we take these traitors to task. And everybody's just like, yeah, woo! Take down the traitors. Traitors are bad.
I like the idea that in like you know, like classic like political thriller movie fashion, you have like the speech just like interspersed with like cuts of Michelle just like knocking down doors and arresting random people because he has nothing better to like no other leads other than just like
tell me who the Sepako agent is now.
It's like like people who didn't clap loud enough at like Bassett's speech and just totally inane bullshit.
He's got his knee on their back, a gun to their head.
Yeah,
tell me what I need to know.
Interspersed with like the claps and the cheering and the speech.
I also like to think that during that speech, Bassett like uses their especially during that like accent moment of talking about the traitor Sepako, like they gesture with the arm that pains them.
Yeah, the left arm. Yeah.
Like it's like those traitors will fall, or you know, whatever.
Yeah,
I love it.
So that's what's happening on the other side of the planet, on the other side of the capital, at least. Another story, a darker story, one filled with less hope and more rage.
Well, for sure. I mean, Champ's pretty hopeful, but obviously dealing with a lot of emotions right now. But like, their dreams going to be fulfilled after this war,
assuming he lives.
Yeah.
I can't wait until the moment where one of my characters tries to kill the other character, because that's like seems almost inevitable at this point.
You know, there was going to be several scenes here where people in the background were going to be talking about a TV show, and they were going to be like, so is the Red Ledger real or not? He's like, no, it's a fake. And then someone else is like, no, come on, there is a physical Red Ledger, but there's nothing in it. Hadn't you read the books? Come on, get with the picture.
I love it. The deep cuts.
Yeah. I decided not to include it, but yeah, let's assume that's canon now. That's the last scene is Michelle walking past three people talking about Varro.
I love it. Love it so much.
For those at home who like this Mechwarrior style noble intrigue and want to know more about that Varro guy, I ran a show called In Service to Our Lord, where our local Lachlan played Prince Varro, who wasn't very princely, but he was very brutal.
He was somehow even more awful than Lachlan is. But yeah, it was good fun.
You should check out In Service to Our Lord. It definitely was one of the runner-ups that helped shape how this campaign began. All right, guys. We won't be back next week because it's Memorial Day weekend, but we'll be back with Eric the week after that to find out more. Eddie, we do need you to figure out what you're going to do with the secret war plans that you stole. Ones that involve a high-risk strike on some supply convoys.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to try to launch an independent operation, whether you're going to present them to the military, whether you're going to try to convince Eric to go along with it. Because you stole it and you were like, I'll tell you what's going to happen with them. And I'm like, it's been a month and a half. What is going to happen with them?
Well, no, I mean, it was one of those things there. We talked about this story or that story. Where I was going to propose playing out that story as an independent mission while Eric.
But we can still play out that story.
For sure.
All I need to know is what you want to do with it. And nothing is always a viable option.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll think about it and I'll let you know by next week.
Okay. Then that's it. Have a good afternoon, friends.